what's wrong with with this network. It's a joke. It's a joke. Again, welcome to the match reaction. Manchester United won, Atletico Madrid won in the Champions League. Stressful game. Stressful game. Yet again from this team. I knew it, and I said it on my show during the week on Monday on the Monday podcast that I just don't trust these guys. And I saw it evidently today. These guys almost again blew it. You cannot come into games playing for one half and expect that, this is the reason why we are where we are right now. These players only pitch up for one half. If they don't play well in the first half, they'll play well in the second half. If they play well in the first half, they're going to have a horror show in the second half. We can't be doing this. Professional footballers cannot be doing this. It's unacceptable, and it should be reprimanded. These players should be reprimanded for that. It's very much unacceptable for professional footballers to come to the pitch, to come on the pitch and decide that they're going to play for one half. This is why we are where we are as a club. Like, you don't need further explanation for that, as to why we are not getting results that we should be getting. Fair enough, today we got the draw, but Atletico almost punished us multiple times. Again, we're lucky. This is why in my title I wrote why that we got away with it again. Somehow, luck was just luck. But this is football at the end of the day, so we can only take what we can do. Not good enough for the lads. Good enough result, performance-wise. We're not going to win this competition. If we somehow get past Atletico in the second leg, we're still not winning this competition. We're nowhere near good enough. Someone, a Bayern Munich or someone, is going to tear us apart. I told Saeed TV when I went on to his show that prior to this game, that if we don't go for the game, we're going to be in trouble. And we didn't go for the game. Ralph set up a team in a defensive manner. We played 3-5-2 formation. We played with wingbacks, for Christ's sake. I don't understand how that even came about. That was the worst formation possible you could pick for that game. I said from the get-go, if you don't approach this game against Atletico is a defensive-minded team. But their defense hasn't been good this year. So what do? You attack a team like that. Where it's vulnerable, you attack it. So why were we trying to play a defensive game? Why were we trying to twist fate? Because this is exactly what we were trying to do. I don't know why Ralph came into the game approaching it with the 3-5-2 formation. How do you approach a game with a defensive formation against a team that is already defensive? Almost cost us the game. And in the subs, I feel like when he made the substitutions, he was just throwing everything at them at that point. Because I was at times during the game, Pogba was isolated. There's nothing he could do. They knew if he had the ball, let's just make sure that he's isolated and he's alone. And we know for a fact he won't do anything. That's what they did. Pressurize Pogba. The game is done for Man United. There's your creative outlet. Let's get him out of the game. And that was it. Bruno was having a shock of a game as well. But you hear in the commentators saying Pogba is having Bruno is having a shock of a game. I was shocked. But at the same time, I wasn't shocked because that pretty much summed up his performances during this season. And a lot of these players during this season. Ronaldo was left isolated again. There was no creative outlet. There was nothing. Luke Shaw going forward is absolutely a shambles. You know what I'm saying? So this team looks so disjointed. I've never seen a team in my entire life that can look so disjointed, having played an entire season together. That is highly impossible. Like, Man United are doing things that are not logically possible at this current point in time. You cannot go into a season, an entire season, and you still look like strangers on the field. I'm not happy about the result. Yes, it's 1-1. We're going into the second leg, and it works for us. But there's no, at this point in time in the Champions League, there is no goals against. So you either win a game outright, or you go to penalties. That has been eradicated from football. So if United want to go through, they have to go and literally win the game. I'm not even confident about that. Yes, Atletico is a poor team. That is why they never put us away. But we're just as poor as they are. This is what United fans forget. We're also just as poor as Atletico have been this season. But there's structure with Atletico. There's optimism with Atletico. They had Griezmann was on the bench. Luis Suarez wasn't even playing. We had virtually our full team there. The team that we have for the rest of the season was right there. So we cannot, I'm telling you now, if we approach the game again, being a one-half team that we are, and we have been the whole season, we're not going through this time. Or better yet, I'm going to put it now, we're not going to go past the quarterfinals. We can't. You can't play like that and get away with it. And we did get away with it today because it's football. Atletico had a couple of missed chances. They had the post was getting, I don't know how many times they hit the woodwork. Like we're very lucky to be where we are right now. But somehow we managed to get the result. Like I say, stranger things happen in football. I've seen Chelsea win the Champions League being poor, but they were very defensively solid. Not the way we are. Not the way we let teams get so many chances in our box. But I've seen Chelsea win the Champions League. So, and when they were very poor, when they finished seventh in the Premier League. It's not to say that if you're poor, you can't win the Champions League, but we don't even give ourselves the chance. Even as poor as we are, we're even way worse than what Chelsea were during that time. So it's just stressful, and something needs to be done. And I pray and I hope that Ralph has learned his lesson. Please, that 3-5-2 needs to be removed immediately. Rashford is not good enough to be a starter. Please, let's not start Rashford ever again. I don't want to see Rashford start again. We need Alex Telles for creative output as well. When he came on, we had some creativity. We had some threat going forward. But somehow he's never picked. I hope Ralph has learned his lesson. Please, no 3-5-2 in the second leg. I beg you. You're out. Immediately when you make that mistake, you're out. This season, I said that it's done. It's finished. I've said that it's done. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. But let's finish the season with pride. Can't just get knocked out like that and then just give the opposition the game. That's not good enough for us. And as these players, as Ralph should be saying, Ralph should be eradicating this one-half performance thing and tell these players that it's not good enough. It's not good enough at the standard. If you guys want to play like this, you should go and play somewhere else. That's the kind of power that should be given to a manager at this club, because this is unacceptably disgusting. Professionals, guys. Professionals who only come here to play for 45 minutes. This is why I couldn't be bothered. There's sometimes I didn't even have match reactions because I didn't even watch the game. These guys come here for they play 45 minutes. The other 45 minutes, they decide they're not going to even play football. So why would I be bothered to come there and sit for 90 minutes and watch that bull? Why would I be bothered to come there for 90 minutes, to sit my ass for 90 minutes and watch that rubbish? I wouldn't. That is why I didn't even have the other match reactions. I pick my games. If these guys can pick their games, I'll literally pick my games as well as to when to watch. Because it's disgusting to see that professionals can't be professional enough to at least put 90 minutes of effort in. So, yeah, man, that was my match reaction. Obviously, starting 11 needs to be, Rashford needs to be removed. I just don't think his head has been screwed on, this season. And I feel like it's just not his head. People say they don't know what's happening with Marcus Rashford. I just feel like his technical aspect of the game is catching up with him right now, because you expect he no longer can rely on his speed alone, like he did in the beginning when he burst onto the scene. He could no longer rely on his speed alone. He's 24. He needs to now rely on his technical aspects. He needs to know when to make the right decision. His decision making is poor. So in actual sense, his footballing has never progressed. He's still at the same level he was when he was 22, 23, 20, 21. He's still at the same level. So it's not looking good for him going in. He's looking more and more like Welbeck as time goes by. And that's not me being insulting. It's me being analyzing and watching how he has improved. And he hasn't really improved. He hasn't improved at all. The only thing that has left him now, it's his burst of pace. People are saying he's shocked. He's always been shocking. We've always thought that as time goes by, maybe he'll improve his brain aspect of the game, and that hasn't developed. And once that hasn't developed, you remain stagnant as a player. You remain very much stagnant and at the same level. If you can't improve your technical aspects of the game, you remain at the same level. So Rashford, I think he needs to be eliminated from the first team. He needs to be eliminated from the first team, and he needs to come on as a sub. I feel like he needs to come on when players are tired. Ilanga needs to start because that's all we have. We decided to let go of Martial. We decided to, you know what I'm saying, let go of important players, and we decided not to add anyone in the January window. So we go with what we have. We go with what we have. You know what I'm saying? So there's so much to dissect. And I did say that the subs worked. He just put a lot of people all at the same time. But I think the subs were more like, okay, we're just going to go for it. But that's the mentality this guy needs to start having. You can't be just starting games and then sitting back. I don't understand if you play defensive and we're playing against a team like Bayern, a team like PSG. You know, these teams who can hurt you going forward. But this is Atletico. How do you go for Atletico? Atletico, you see, the minute when we made the subs and we started attacking more, they looked very fragile. Imagine if we had started the game like that. Imagine we started the game with the same intent. I mean, with the same intent to go and win. Atletico have conceded a lot of goals this season. So why didn't we test their defense enough? But you know, that's questions for the second leg. Obviously, that was my match reaction. I don't think there's any more to add. Maguire was Maguire. Varane had a shock of a game as well alongside Maguire. Lindelof should never start in defense again alongside Maguire and Varane. Should never. Luke Shaw, average. And I feel like Luke Shaw, he's more of a Premier League. He suits the Premier League more than Telles, and Telles suits the Champions League more than Luke Shaw. So I'd play Telles in the second leg ahead of Luke Shaw. And I'd be more attack-minded. Ralph needs to be attack-minded in the second leg. But yeah, man, that's a conversation for when we have our preview. But yeah, guys, that was my match reaction. And yeah, Man United are still in the competition for now. But yeah, poor performance, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And these guys, it's high time they pitch up for games in both halves. We can't be here discussing how you played well in the first half only, or how you played well in the second half only. You need to have a complete game as professionals. These guys are overpaid and they play one halves. It's not good enough at this level. But yeah, we go again.
Happy to be back home after 12 years.
Good game, really good game.
Like I said to Martinelli.
Hello, Antonio. Nice to see you again.
Hello, good afternoon.
It's gone through Laporte. Rodri!
Dieser Lewandowski-Auftritt sorgt für Wirbel.
Looks like you lost another one.